My current situation. Hotel room for the next 2 days. Well, yesterday was one day. I think we all needed a break from each other. That's just the way it happens. So I'm chilling, still in the bed in the afternoon. How about we have some story time? What y'all think about that? So, story time. This is not really a story. Well, it might end up being a story. This is sort of a reminisce, I guess. A reminiscence. A memory, if you will. Something I've been thinking about the last couple of days, I guess. Maybe more than that. I'm not sure. So random. So I've been thinking about my photos that I have, that I still have actual photos that I need to get scanned, and I've been trying to figure out how and when the best way to do that. My random flat twist is, okay, you're gonna have to ignore that. Sorry. Lay down. Anyway, how and when the best way is to get them scanned so that I can either give my son the original photos, or some of my relatives some of the photos. I think my son wants his photos, but some of the photos that are like family photos, which are very few, could give to relatives. Anyway, I need to get them all scanned and put on some kind of flash drive, some kind of permanent digital place. And so I guess I was thinking about them, and I don't have very many photos of myself anymore, and that led me to thinking about, which still angers me, what happened to my photos. Because I never had a lot of photos anyway, but I had a few baby pictures of me and a few school pictures and stuff like that, and a couple birthday pictures, some teenage pictures, just a sporadic amount of pictures, but not a ton. So I had a baby book, and I had one photo album. Someone's calling. Let me hang up. So I had a baby book, and I had one photo album of my youth that my mother gave me when I married my first husband, which is my son's father. And when he and I separated, I caught a plane back to Virginia from Iowa, and I took barely anything. I basically took one bag, my purse, and a diaper bag, because Rashad was 2. I think he had just turned 2. So I did not have a lot of stuff with me. And so one of the first things he was supposed to send me was my baby book, my photo album, my diploma. I had a box that I had packed and said, send me this box first. And before I'm not worried about the other stuff, because even if I don't get that stuff, I'm not worried. But this box I have to have. And he never sent it. And months passed, and weeks after, and months. And I kept asking for it every so often, and he would say he would send it. In the meantime, while we were separated, he decided to not continue on with college and join the military. Unbeknownst to me, I didn't find out until, oh my gosh, probably a year later, that he had stopped paying for the storage. And of course, in Iowa or anywhere else, when you stop paying for the storage, they just throw your stuff away or auction it off. So I have no pictures. The few pictures I have are pictures that were found when my grandmother passed in her storage unit in her apartment, and some family members let me make copies because my mother gave me all the originals in the photo album that she gave me. So I have very few. These are all of my youth pictures right here. They fit in a little gallon-sized baggie. That's it. So yeah. Needless to say, I was very upset about that. But excuse me. There was one picture in particular I was looking for and I could not find it, and I thought I had it, but it could be that I don't. But I found another picture that I could still talk about. And it looks like this picture was to one of my uncles. And I don't know why I ended up having it, but I'm glad I have it because I don't have another picture like this. So apparently this was 1985 and I was 14. And I'm going to show it to you here. So 14 means I probably was a ninth grader, probably. Probably a ninth grader. I'm thinking. But you know what? I might have been an 8th grader because my mom held me back in 5th grade. So I was always a year older than everyone. So I actually might have been in 8th grade when this was taken, even though I should have been in 9th grade. So yeah, I've talked about that story about my mom holding me back even though I passed with low C's and D's and high D's. She held me back in 5th grade. I talked about that story before. So this is me. I would probably have been in 8th grade now that I think of it, and not 9th grade. And this smile was a mask. I was really going through some stuff. This was when I was going through some of the worst acne. Between 7th grade and probably, oh gosh, all through high school, even into my early 20s, I suffered really bad with acne. But it was probably the worst in middle school, and the beginning of high school was probably the worst. So probably from 7th to 10th grade was the worst of it, but I always struggled with it. And so I was not very confident. This probably was after coming back home from being taken from my mom and put into foster care for a little while. So yeah. And even though I wasn't in foster care for very long, it very much changed me. And it made me have a heart for teens in foster care. So much so that during my second marriage, we took a course to become foster parents, and we really only wanted preteens and teens. But we never pursued it because we ended up having to move to a smaller place, and we just didn't have the room for a child to have their own room. Yeah, this girl was struggling. This girl was struggling with identity. This girl was struggling with not feeling loved. She was struggling with all sorts of things. She was really struggling. I mean, even look at my hair. I didn't have any kind of chemical in my hair, I don't think, or it had grown out some. And I wasn't a big, my mom didn't know how to do hair, not really. And I guess at this age, my family started not really being in my mom's life, therefore not being in my life. So I didn't find out till later in my life, and I've shared this too, that one of my aunts told me that some of the family members, some of her sisters and brothers, my mother's sisters and brothers, stopped communicating with her after I was taken away because she could have gotten me back quicker, and she didn't do what she needed to do. And so they were upset with her, and so I guess they were talking to her about it, and I guess there was a blow up. And so anyway, my aunts always did my hair in cornrows and stuff like that because they knew how to cornrow. My mom did not. So I was pretty much left on my own to do my hair, which I had no idea what I was doing because I didn't grow up with a mother who knew how to do hair. I think that's part of the reason why I went into cosmetology, is so I could do my own hair. And then I was like, well, I'm not going to college, so I might as well do this as a career. So I took cosmetology in high school to do my own hair, and then decided this could be a good career for me because I know I'm not going to college. And the reason I always said I wasn't going to college is I was always told that I was stupid and dumb and ugly and all that. So there was no need in me trying to go to a secondary education when I barely made it, out of high school. So anyway, I don't know. I guess I was just reminiscing about some of the things I've come from and come through. And I guess I just wanted to kind of inspire people that are going through some stuff right now, because everyone has their stuff, and everybody's stuff might not be the same stuff, but everybody has stuff. Don't think that you're alone. There are people going through similar stuff, but everybody has something. Maybe you're in an abusive relationship. Maybe you're a child with parents who are abusing you, whether it be verbally or physically or emotionally, or any other kind of abuse. Maybe you're a girl whose boyfriend is not treating her right. I don't know. There's so many kinds of abuses and problems and stressors and strains and stuff. So just know that you're not alone. Know that you're not the only one to go through this, the first one to go through it. Millions of people struggle with things, but just know that you are good and kind. You are worth way more than what that person is telling you that you are worth. Because I notice things about abusers is they want to tear you down because they themselves don't feel good about themselves. So just know that you deserve better. So leave. Get out. And I know as a kid you can't because it's your parent, but you can tell someone. You can tell a family member that you love and trust, who shows you love and kindness. You can tell a teacher, a counselor, the school bus driver. Get out and get help. Don't stay in whatever abusive situation you're around or in. If you know someone being abused, help them. If you can't physically help them get help. I don't know how to help, but I know that there are resources, and I know that Google is a big place, and you can get resources through Google. If you're just suffering with a mental illness, depression, anxiety, bipolar, whatever it is, get help. Reach out. If you don't have health insurance, find on Google mental health based, sliding fee scale based on your income, places that are in your area. I just know that this girl needed help, and she didn't get it until much later in life. And my story could have turned out so differently. So differently. I could not be here today because there are times where I considered and even attempted to take my own life. So I could not be here today had any of those attempts been successful, or had I really, really wanted to die. I really think my attempts were more cries for help than they were legit attempts. But if I really wanted to die, especially back here, this would have been the last picture of me, because I could have easily done it. So that's all I want to say. Maybe your story is like mine. Maybe you're this girl Maybe you're not on the other side of it yet. Maybe you're still in the storm. Maybe you're still in the abuse. And maybe this is you. And you just need someone to tell you it's going to be okay. Thank you for watching. I'm sorry the video took a little bit of a sad turn. I just felt like that was something that needed to be said. And I was thinking about it over the last couple of days, and so I wanted to say that. You are loved. Thanks for watching.